Testing, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. Right, I always test me microphone in a Northern Irish accent. I've got no idea why, it's just something I do, because I am inherently a bit of a prick. Welcome back everyone, my name's Paul, this is Milehousestudios. Most of you are regulars. If you're not a regular, I use a bit of naughty language. This is a Squier Showmaster. I'd never heard of this. I don't think it's an expensive guitar. It's been sent in by a subscriber. I'll tell you who in a minute. I think when this is done, in a soft case posted, it's probably a £130 guitar. It's not expensive, but I'm going to make it play like a guitar worth 10 times its value because we'll sort out the frets. Now, I haven't really looked at this. I've already just taken it out of the box. Squier guitars can be a little bit hit and miss with the fretwork, but let me read you some details first. Right, I can't show you the letter because it's got address details on it and I can't be fucking bothered to blur it all out and use all the editing software at my disposal because I can barely use it as it is. Dear Paul, this is from John Meredith. Thank you, John. And he is from Pontypridd. So we'll be using casual racism towards the Welsh today. Absolutely banging, I tell you. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that in the letter at all. No mention of sheep shagging either. In this box, it's a funny old one that, isn't it? It's just never gone away. In this box is a minger of a guitar that I bought during COVID. Or as they probably say in Pontypridd, COVID. It's a Squier Showmaster. He bought it for the neck because he wanted, right, and this is where I cannot respect the geezer, he wanted to put that reverse headstock strap neck on a Telecaster. You absolute fucking minger. It was going to end up on this telly because the telly neck was crap and oh, he did actually do it. Look at that. Ugh. Sick in your mouth. So there you go. It's come all the way from Wales, which isn't actually that far as a crow flies, but it's a cunt to drive to. It's got a 2-point trem, so I think that's pretty cool. It's very mini. It's got a lot of spunk on it. Welsh spunk, I believe. Smells the same though. So there you go. We're not that different, brother. We're not that different. We'll get the trem on, we'll get it screwed back together, but the first thing I want to do is look at the fretwork. And sadly, that's always what is shit. Hope you can't hear the air conditioning. I turned the fan down, but it's going fucking mental. Come on in, Dave. They're not going to want to miss this. I'm putting Dave to the side so I don't have to pee around because I'm learning. So let's just waffle through some fretwork today. Hopefully everything else just works. Fingers crossed, but we'll have a little look. These are safety glasses, but I'm putting them on not for safety reasons, but more for the reason that they are prescription and I can't see a fucking thing without them. Hashtag blind old twat. Right, so the neck is like a banana, all right? Let's get that one sorted out. Now, if you've come here because you've just watched my recent Chibson video, thanks for joining. Thanks for coming in. Lots of people subbed off the back of that one. Chibson videos do attract a lot of people. They also attract a lot of and I have plenty of them in the comment section. And let me just make one thing abundantly clear, all right? I do call out wankers in the comment section. They don't annoy me at all. I find it fascinating, the human psyche, it's fine. So you don't have to come to my defense. You never have to argue with people in my comment section. If you see it and I've left a witty comment, don't chime in, it's fine. There's no need for it, it'll only ruin your day. I am impervious, all right? My skin is thick, my hairline is thin, and so is my willy. And that, to be honest, that's way more heartbreaking than a cunt in the comment section. So anyway, let's straighten the neck out. It's fumbling around then like an absolute codpiece. But this has got terrible, terrible bent saddles. They won't make any difference, Paul. I don't care if you think they make no difference. I'm going to put rollers on there because Geico sponsor this channel. And I'm going to tell you all about their roller string tree. And I'm going to tell you all about their bone nuts in a contraceptive packet. Do you remember when you used to get Johnnies in toilets? That was the old days, wasn't it? Always check that these are nice and tight. In fact, I'll do it with a spanner and you can see how loose they are. I'm learning. It's educational. See how loose they are, look. To be fair, it's quite a good old mechanism. You could tighten that up forever and really bugger up your headstock. So you've got to use a bit of feel, all right? You've got to thumb it in and make sure that you're doing them up. Snug them up, but don't take the piss. You don't have to rip things apart.
I better use my strong hand.
And this will always be loose anyway, so don't think you're going to be tightening that up. I'm just laying it down for people that have never fraternised with a machine head before. Because you're out there. I know, lots of you are watching. And you're like, oh, I'd love to have a go at that, but I'm a bit scared. You are not bleeding the brakes of a McLaren F1. It's a fucking guitar. And it's not that complicated. Unlike most of your wives. No one's ever figured one out. So, I'm going to get this neck straight. Alright, every bit of work you do on a neck, it needs to be straight. God, that truss rod has got an aggressive thread on it. So this neck does not want to go straight. It's got the old dip away at the first fret. So we'll have to be mindful of that. What I mean by that is my notched straight edge is making contact on the, or more or less on the second fret. And down here, I've got a queef of relief in the middle, and I've also got a queef of relief in the first. Poor machining, wood choices, whatever, sanding process is a bit shit. Who knows? I like to see how the neck behaves with strings on, all right? That's the real world use case scenario. It's a fucking, that was an hard one to get out, wasn't it? I'll make no apologies. I am as thick as I look, and that's fine. Don't forget it's raffle season, everyone. There's a link below. 3 guitars, 2 prototypes, and the current build series Black Limber with a wiggly stick. Make sure you enter. It's an absolute gem. Links below. Thank you, bye. So we're going to make sure that this is well supported. So that neck is pretty well supported there. I'm going to give it a quick check with the rocker. This is a used guitar. It might have had a fret job in a previous life. I don't know. Whatever you do, your first job always wants to be with the rocker. Got one there. So I'm going to take out all the worst rocks first. That's a massive one. You can use all sorts of things. You don't need to use a brass hammer. You can use different tools. That one's a little bit less effective, I've got to be honest. The old flesh mallet, not the best choice, but he might get you through. All in all, not bad at all. That literally just took me, don't know why I'm looking at my watch. Didn't look at my watch at the start of the process, but it took about 5 minutes just to whip up and down. I went up and down twice because sometimes you'll knock one down, it'll create a rock somewhere else. This has got quite big frets on it, yeah? They've given us a little bit of leeway to work on. I'm going to cover up these pickups so that no one shits their pants in the comment section. And they are exposed single coils. We don't want to be getting any shit in there. Right, I'm not sure how this neck's going to behave under tension. So we might have to redo the level, recrown and polish process. That's just one, if you want us to have a bit of secret sauce. Very flexible neck, this one. Let's whip up and down him now quickly with a leveling beam and just see what he says. Now this is actually an understring leveling beam. He's got a T on him. I've bought this for understring leveling because quite often that gives you a better result. It's a cumbersome, shitty process. But I actually like this bar because it's way longer. It's the full length of the fretboard. So it means if I'm pushing down on this, I've got less chance of deflecting the fretboard and moving things around. It gives you an easier way. So if I was going to buy one leveling beam and tell you to buy one leveling beam, I'd buy that and put like 320 grit sandpaper on it. It's probably all you need. And it will do both jobs. So tiny speedy uppy and I'll do a voiceover. Right, so here we go. I'll walk you through it. Bit of red pen. Bit of sanding, bit of checking, bit of hoovering. It's the same every time, really, let's be honest. What I will say today, though, is that I knew a Welsh guy once who had a flesh mallet that could probably knock frets in quite effectively. It's a terrifying proposition, really. But anyway, back to the video. I'm not going to cover everything in the video today. I did a lot more to this guitar than you're going to see. But all you need to know is at the end, she's a banger. Right, so we're back in the room after the best voiceover in the world. He's full of charisma, that prick, isn't he? We're super shiny. We're oiled up with a bit of lure. We're shined up to 8,000 RPM. What more do you want? We've got to get a nut fitted now, all right? And everything's topsy-turvy on this guitar because we've got a backward deadstock, which I'm not a fan of. But it's not my guitar, is it? I'm just fraternizing it. Fraternizing it for someone else. You have to bear in mind that if this neck does not behave, when it's strung up and under tension, we might have to do bits of this again. It's not the end of the world. I mean, that took me about half an hour. So it's not a waste. It's the path of least resistance. That's what I'm going to call it. Right, so I've got to get my nut to fit in this slot. I've got a nut file here, right? Not as in a nut slot file, but a nut slot file. For in the fretboard, it's got 2 different edges. All right, these are from Crimson. And we're just going to get in there. And I'm just going to clean out any crap. And then that one there, look, he's a bit tight. He almost goes in. So we're just going to get out a bit of random sandpaper. And I'm going to go down here. Dave's not watching very well. Yeah, sorry, Dave. I was making that awkward for you. I'm going to go either side. 5 passes. Flip it over. It's monumentally high at the minute. That doesn't matter. All I'm going to do for a minute is just get the end, the length right. Now, there's quite a natural finish on this fretboard, so you could file this with it on there, but I don't want to, and some people will put a bit of tape on there and polish it and all that sort of stuff. I'm just going to pop it in and out a few times. I'm filing and I'm putting a bit of a round on. Not a lot. And I'm going to keep going until I'm pretty happy with how that's sitting. That's lovely. I can just move that around and we're pretty good on the ends. You can use your super posh nut fucking gauge drawing do for what's it tool, and that just rests on the frets, and that'll give you a line, and that'll let you know how much you've got to take off. Now, it's not a lot, is it? I prefer to do it a different way though, and I shall show you that. We're going to take the most of the meat off the bottom. It's out of interesting. It's proper exciting. So just as a little update, I have got 5 Gibson guitars on their way. I'm going to spread them out. It's tempting to do a load of them, but people will get fucking bored. So some of them will sit down in the workshop for quite a while. I might do one with the old grey guitarist so he can sample a fakie for himself. I'm going to get the trem on. That should be easy. I'll give it a bit of a clean. It's fucking rank, isn't it? Bit of isopropyl alcohol, 99.9%. Thank you, Stez. We'll just use that to give that a good scrub. Get in there. Like when you're doing in between the wife's toes, in between the hoof clippings. Do you know what I mean? I don't go anywhere near my wife's feet. They're fucking horrendous. When she puts a fucking flip-flop on, clears the room. Don't get that on a cut in your finger. You will know.
Much later.
I'm filming everything back to front because I've got a reverse headstock and it's easier to tune it with me drill. So if you're wondering why I look a bit cack-handed, that is why. Right, it's a 12-inch radius. And I'm just going to visually get these saddles so they look like they're in a 12-inch radius. The intonation looks completely fucking out. I don't know who did that. Right, I'm going to string up the 2 outer strings. It's getting in. I was going to say interesting then. That's a lie. It's getting exciting, isn't it? NYXL 1046s is my string of choice. Oh, it's like working on a left-handed guitar. It's all fucking blue badge, isn't it? You can park this thing anywhere. I can't do it that way. I just can't. My brain won't allow it. The sort of person that has a reverse headstock is the sort of person that puts jam on his cornflakes, yeah? Fucking nut jobs. Now I've got that on there. Come on in, Dave. We've got that on there, and it's an absolute shit show. It's way too high. It's terrible. Look at this. Woo, fuck me. But what I can do is I can actually measure that now. My actions, it's high, but it's not mental, so that's fine. We're within the ballpark. We can get out my nut measuring tool. You can use feeler gauges if you want. They'll do the same thing. You can use them. You can get in here and you can measure that gap to your first fret. And then once you've measured that gap, you know how much you've got to take off the nut. That's a 2.1 mil and a 1.8. So I'm gonna start by taking a millimeter off the bottom of this nut. I'm going to use my chippy's eye and I'm going to measure 1 mil. Like that. With a bit of experience, you can take a proper chunk off. And then with a little bit more experience, you take less of a chunk off because you've gone too far a couple of times and you've had to throw a nut away. That's fucking annoying. Oh, he sniffs spoons. Well, I've done that. We'll have another quick measure. You don't have to worry about tension. You don't have to worry about anything because we're just measuring from there to there. So bows and necks and action heights and that. It's going to affect it, but not that mental. You've got to start somewhere. So I've got a 1 mil there. And I've got 1.5 there. I want about 0.7 all the way. Enough for me to cut a slot. So I'm just going to do a little bit more. It all feels nice. Everything's got right for the distance there. I'm just going to double check. Everything's got right for the distance there. Talking and thinking is not my forte. I've got 0.5 on the lowy. And I've got 0.4 on the high. So a little bit close for comfort actually, but the slots are nice in there. So all I'm going to do now is using a bit of 800. I'm just going to finesse this in while it's off the guitar. Just take off any harsh edges. Anyone running around up and down your shaft then, they're not going to get a nasty surprise when they get to the end. There, I'm happy with that. Right, now the final piece of the puzzle. Tiny spot of CA glue. That's it. Next to nothing, almost nothing came out there. Barely fired it past the belly button. Right, that nut is in. We can get the rest of the strings on, we can tune it up, and we can just double check our slots. And I'm going to fire through that. I'm not going to show you how to put a string in a machine head. Ooh, that invites more hate than even I can deal with. Now we put a string tree on to make sure we've got enough break angle over that nut. Otherwise, there's not enough tension holding the string onto the nut. Oh, the lessons today. I know. Now, if you're doing a job like this and you're dropping things and you can't get it in the O and you're really clumsy, it is you. You're a retard.
Come again?
Just because I edit it and make it clean and crispy, I am just as much of a retard-on as you are. It's just YouTube magic. Right, you've got to go through the arduous task now of tuning up, and then we're just going to be checking that we're going to end up with a nice level trem. Sometimes for a beginner, and I've got one coming up, I'm going to put 5 springs on the trem and I'm going to wind the block right in so it will never move. Bit like what Clapton did with his wooden block, which gave him added sustain. I'm not going to argue with Eric. Fucking hell. But yeah, it's along the same lines. We're going to make it so that that trem does not move. We won't on this one. We'll give it a good chance and we'll have it with a bit of movement. So anyway, I'm going to start tuning up. Well, it's fucking bang on that. Lucky I did that by eye before I started. It's almost like I knew what I'm doing. That is set up. Everything's going to need a good stretching in and a bit of love. Let's take it downstairs and give it a good thrashing. When I say thrashing, I think I'm going to go super slow today. Some might even say melodic. Right, conclusions, and let's just address the title of the thumbnail because I've got to do that, otherwise I go, it's clickbait. But I like to address the thumbnail topics midway to the end of the video because the thickies with the amoeba attention spans don't get that far and then they have a good moan and a little cry into their fucking mum's hankies. Are you still allowed to like a Squier? The mantra of this channel, very simple. You do you. I don't care if you want to buy a Chibson, whether you still want to play your Fender Strat. I don't give a flying fuck, all right? This 20-year-old Indonesian, it might be, I pulled that figure right out of my ass. This old Indonesian Fender Squier, it should be played and enjoyed and loved. And some might say you should buy used instruments because it stops them from earning money and all that sort of stuff. I really don't get involved in politics and I really don't get involved in guitar politics. I know it's like a clickable thing. I haven't done a video on it like every other YouTuber. I've enjoyed lots of their videos, but I honestly don't really care about the topic. I make guitars. If I see guitars and I enjoy them, it makes me want to make something similar. That's how my brain works. You know, all the rest of it, it's not really my cup of tea. But you do you. That's the most important thing. Don't involve yourself in the politics of the masses and get all shitty about something you can never affect or change or improve. It's just conversation. So just don't lose sight of that, right? It's just conversation. You can have an opinion, but if someone else's opinion is not the same as yours, it doesn't matter. They might be lovely blokes. That's all I'm going to say on that. So yes, you can still enjoy this. I insist someone does. Sounded great. It's a nice little guitar. And it's super cool now. It's set up. I don't know how much these are going for on eBay. God, they command a bit of money. I had no idea. Squier Showmaster. £375. You fucking dreaming, you cunt. £240 with a shit amp. £199. So I'm going to put this in a soft case and you've got to pay postage. So I'll put it on for £150 plus postage. But it's been set up so it'll play better than 99% of the crap that you see on eBay. Anyway, thanks everyone. Special wave. And buy some merch, t-shirts and all that. The links to everything is always in the description. And my eBay shop is in the description. These go live at the same time as the video, and if you've waited until the end of the video, it might well be gone because the lower price ones fuck off right out the door. See you next week, slags.
Oh.